If you have a 10mm auto handgun, I have good news for you. Like the 44 Magnum, this is a cartridge that you can save a lot of money reloading for and have fun at the same time. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Hey guys, Gavin Gear here from UltimateReloader.com. We're working with Barry's Manufacturing on an entire series of videos and articles called Bang for the Buck Reloading. This is the first one and it's a great one. 10mm auto is a very powerful handgun cartridge. It's fun to shoot. It's great for things like bear defense. But when you go to buy factory ammunition, you might get a bit of sticker shock. And that is where economical reloading comes in handy. So a little bit of background about the 10mm auto cartridge. As most of you know, it's just like the 40 Smith & Wesson, but it's longer and more powerful. What I have here is a Glock 20 SF, like the Glock 20, which is the standard frame version. These handguns work really well. They're chambered in 10mm auto, and they represent a great bang for the buck when it comes to the firearm itself. Okay, going back to the very beginning, the 10mm auto was designed in 1983. Its parent cartridge is the 30 Remington, which is interesting. The case wall is straight. We've got a bullet diameter of 0.4005, so just a half thousandth over 0.4 inches. That equates to 10.17 millimeters. Unlike the 40 Smith & Wesson, the 10mm auto uses a large pistol primer. So if you're converting a press over, you've got different height differences, with your die setups, but you've also got a switch from small primers to large primers. Cartridge overall length is 1.260 inches or 32 millimeters max. And we've got a max average pressure of 37,500 PSI according to SAMI. Max case length is 0.992 inches, and if you're trimming, a good value to go with is 0.987. Finally, the rim diameter is 0.425 inches or 10.8 millimeters. So, Barry's makes 3 different weights for 10mm, 180, 200, and 220. Here we've got both the 200s and the 220s. So the bullets we're using are at typical maximum 200 and a little bit over that, so heavy for cartridge. The 180 bullets are typically going to be going about 1250 feet per second out of a classic Glock like this with a power factor of 225. A 200 grain bullet will see more like 1170 feet per second, and that equates to a power factor of 234. Finally, the heavy bullets, the 220s, are going to attain probably about 1075 feet per second with a power factor of 236. So you can see both the 200s and the 220s here have a pretty equivalent power factor given the estimated velocities that we're using here. So a note about powders for the 10mm. The 10mm is pretty particular with powders. It's a very powerful cartridge for the handgun, and the burn rate range that you're going to see here is going to start approximately, using Hodgdon's burn rate chart, at position number 28, or the HP38 Winchester 231 powders, which are the same. And it's going to go up to probably around position number 60, accurate number 9, which I don't have highlighted here. We just have that lower section highlighted. We decided to use Hodgdon Longshot because we got some great data online and read anecdotes from other hand loaders yielding great results with this powder. So you're going to want to read our disclaimer. This data is not to be used. It is for informational purposes only. You're going to want to go to at least 1, if not 2 or 3 OEM sources of load data to cross-check and make sure that the data is safe for what you're doing. So the fun thing about handgun loading is the shooting. For me, it feels a little bit more casual, a little bit more relaxed compared to when I'm shooting ultra precision rifles, right? It's just time to have some fun, collect some data. So we shot the Glock 20 SF over the chronograph. We're using the Athlon Rangecraft. Really great chronograph. Has worked perfectly for us with everything from air guns to 2-mile guns, our 375 Chi-Tac, right? So we shot the Glock 20 at steel at relatively close range to get that velocity data. Here's the load data that we used for the shooting. We had 2 different charge weights of long shot with the 200s and then 2 different charge weights with the 220s. With the 200s, we started at 7.8 grains, which yielded 1,135.6 feet per second with an SD of 18.8. The 200 grain projectile with the 8.2 grain charge weight yielded 1167 with an SD of 14 feet per second. So 14 feet per second is really good for handgun ammo in my experience. Then stepping up to the 220 grain projectiles, we started at 7.2 grains, yielding 1049.9 feet per second with an SD of 6.3. That is really good performance for a pistol load. And then we upped it a little bit. We went from 7.2 up to 7.8, and that took us from 1049.9 up to 1078.0 with an SD of 5.1. So, judging from velocity alone, I'm probably going to roll with the 220s. If it was a hollow point, that would make a great bear defense load. But for general shooting with the Glock 20, I think that's absolutely outstanding performance. So this video at the end of the day is largely about economics. Using the Ultimate Reloader Cost Calculator, which is free on our website, we compared two different scenarios for hand loading. One where we start with new brass and one where we start with our previously fired brass. So per round, new brass loads worked out to $0.597, right? 59.7 cents. Let's call it 60 cents on that side, approximately. But when we recycle the brass, we get down under 50 cents. 45.7 cents per round. Okay, let's compare that to brand new factory ammunition. I looked online briefly. It looks like the median price is somewhere around $1.25 per round for brand new factory ammunition. If we reload with Barry's 200s or 220s with brand new brass, we're at 59 cents a round or 53% savings. That's pretty amazing. But when we recycle our brass, it gets even better. That 46 cent per round reloaded ammunition takes our saving up to 63%. And so what I want to point out here is the more specialized the cartridges, 300 Blackout subsonic, right? 338 ARC subsonic, 44 Magnum, 10 millimeter auto, the bigger savings you're going to see. And that's why we wanted to start this series with 10 millimeter auto. So in conclusion, 10 millimeter auto is very versatile. With a 10 millimeter auto handgun, you can defend yourself personally, you can defend your home, you can defend yourself from a bear. There's not a lot that you can't do. Now, it is a lot to handle. The recoil is really intense compared to something like a 9 millimeter auto or even a 45 ACP. But it's nice to know that you can tackle whatever comes your way. I also find it fun to shoot. I think shooting high recoil handguns is a good skill builder, whether it be a 44 mag revolver or a 10 millimeter auto, semi-auto handgun like what I have here with the Glock 20 SF. So we also showed that you can save a lot of money reloading with components like Barry's bullets, especially when we combine that with the specialty cartridge. Long shot worked really good. I think we could see, especially with the 220 grain projectiles, those really low 5 and 6 FPS SD numbers were super, super impressive. It seemed to burn really, really clean as well. So I highly recommend Hodgdon Long Shot. Here's my question for you. Are you loading for 10 millimeter auto? Which powder are you using? Drop a comment. We'll see you down there in the comment section. Now, don't forget to subscribe with notifications because we've got more of these bang for the buck stories coming up, spanning both pistol and rifle. Thank you very much for watching. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching Ultimate Reloader on TV and want to take advantage of free resources, exclusives, and hot deals, just hold your camera phone up to the QR code, tap on the link, fill out the information, boom, you're getting Ultimate Reloader emails. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. Thanks again for watching.